Hello family, and welcome back to the Ebony Odyssey. My name is Jermaine Long, and I am a servant of the Most High God. I appreciate you for coming along, and as always, enjoy the journey. Today is just a morning message that I got, and it's about idle talk. Idle talk is the topic. And the support scripture I'm using for this is Job chapter 15, verse 3, and it reads, "Should he reason with unprofitable talk, or with speeches wherewith he can do no good?" And the background of this is Job, of course. He has been through the trials, and he has his friends there, and this one friend, Eliphaz the Temanite, he is talking to Job and trying to get him to understand, how, wicked he has been. And that's the reason for his certain dilemma with God. And so right here, my whole thought with this morning, and I'm sorry you may hear a little bit of background noise here and there, but I can only show you what I can show you. I know we've come so far from the beginning stages to get here, and we have a long way to go. And yes, I know it's still things that we have to do to continue to improve and to continue to get better at. And as I grow along with the men that I'm standing beside, and that we are working together to try to make the best products, try to be an efficient company, try to be a productive company. We have all these things that come up, these little issues that, causes some disturbances between the gentlemen from time to time. And being in America, I've learned, so many things, and then coming here to Africa, it's taught me, some of the things that I've learned in America, just to not harp on some of the negative things when you come here, because that's not the culture and that's not the environment. So trying to get an understanding and make sure you have, a good basis for why you do things, or why we should go in a certain route, is key. And it's key for explaining, and it's key for the understanding of, the men and women that you will be leading. So for me, we had this issue a couple of days ago, and it was about, I know I've hired, more people, and, everybody looks around, and it's, it kind of reminds me of the one parable of the king who sent for the workers, right? And then a worker came in, and he started at the beginning of the day, one started in the middle of the day, one started late in the day, but at the end he paid them all a talent. And I think I've spoke about that one before. But when people come into a new position, or they see people coming into their workspace, it's always that side eye of, well, what are they getting that I'm not getting? Well, why are they getting the same thing that I'm getting? Or XYZ, and I'm trying to get everyone to understand that, I have budgeted it for so much, for us to do certain things, and for us to be efficient, and for us to work as a team. And if everybody can, get on board with the program and how we're doing things, it will benefit all, because I don't want anyone to be overworked. I don't want people to be underworked, but I want just the right amount of work, with the pay, relationship. And so as I'm thinking about this scripture this morning, it's the little things that come up that I just would rather not, address, because it's so, it's not beneath me to say, but it's beneath the train of thought, or in the direction I'm going. and I had and some of the new guys that I know, we've talked some of these issues out. And before I digress and we get on a long deep rabbit hole, let me get to this. Should he reason with unprofitable talk? Me, as the owner of the business, trying to provide something, unprofitable talk, talking negative, talking down. Me mostly, I'm trying to always gain understanding as to what you're thinking, what you have interpreted me to say, and what the mission it is that I am giving you. And sometimes it's on a daily, and sometimes it's on a weekly, or sometimes it's not at all. But what are you gaining from that? Is it me and my lack of leadership? Or is it you per se and the lack of motivation? Because I know that was some of the issues also. And for me, coming from America, nobody understands how much work I put in to get to this point, to be able to afford to come here to Africa, to live, to raise my family, to build businesses, and build my home that me and my family will eventually be in. And they don't understand the day-to-day grind of getting up, being there on time, working, sometimes working late, doing extra things, finding extra jobs. Everybody does work hard here, and they do accomplish the same types of tasks. And it's just a different environment. And for me being here, no one could see. I guess when I would say I was more so in my prime, and I was young, and before the military injury, or before anything right there, I was doing a lot to get to the point that I am now. And so when people see me now, they don't see me putting in that effort. And of course I can't. But with me, I always believe, be the example of what you're trying to produce and what you're trying to show. So even me, waking my young men up, my boys, to go with me in the morning as we, head up there to the business. And since they are now doing classes online, they can come with me in the morning, and then I have them do little tasks. And, I look at the guys who get there, and then I want to perceive how they view us, because my children, who are, almost, they're getting into their teenage years. They're young adults to me. I treat them as such. So they go out there and they perform, and they do what I'm asking them to do. And, one of the young men who had just came, he was asking about the motivation. And for me, I always try to ask these questions basically to see where people's minds are at. I was like, well, really, what motivation do I need to give you? If I'm paying you, if I'm providing other amenities for you, what other motivation do I need to give besides, hey, let's finish the job. Let's do what I've already said. And see, this is where we get back into the scripture of, should he reason with unprofitable talk, or with the speeches wherewith he can do no good? If I was to come negative in this situation, it would not profit me anything. For me, it's to gain understanding and relay my understanding, and as far as my requirements for what we're going to do going forward. And the motivation thing, it was just a little small thing, but I just really wanted to explain myself in the position that I'm in, and the position that everyone else is in here. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to provide what I can provide, for the people that are, under me at this point. And I'm ultimately under God. So I'm trying to do the right thing by the people that are under me, because I know the Most High is watching me. And we right at prayer time. I always know this. So I will pause and then I'll come back after the prayer time. All right. Now the prayer is over. I'm gonna finish this whole thing. So again, guys, I'm sorry about taking you so long today, but let me just hop right into it because I wanted to read some more of this scripture, even though verse 3 is the main one that I'm thinking about. Verse 2, should a wise man utter vain knowledge and fill his belly with the east wind? Number 3, should he reason with unprofitable talk or with speeches wherewith he can do no good? It goes on to say, yea, thou castest off fear and restrainest prayers before God, for their mouth utter thine iniquities, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee. And so for the end of that, it's just like, at the end of the day, people will tell on themselves as to what's going on or what's in their mind or what's in their heart, and the thoughts, bringing them to that decision. And the one thing that I don't want to do is cause someone to stumble or, or feel a certain type of way toward me since I'm here. Now, I know I won't be everybody's friend. I won't be everybody's buddy because I have, let people go here that were working for me because, we just did not mesh at a certain level. And I will continue to do so going forward. But, most of the times we want to talk and explain ourselves when sometimes that isn't necessary. The thing is, what God tells me to do, I do. And for me, when I tell my kids to do something, they do what they need to do. And so sometimes in business, your employees just need to do, what you tell them to do. So idle talk, you don't want to get into too much of it. You don't want to lead people down the wrong path. If you keep a biblical mindset about like the centurion soldier, where he says, hey, Lord, if you say he's healed, that's good enough for me. I'll go back and get to work or get to doing what I should do. And, that's how we have to keep it. We can't get off into, trying to come up with these explanations of why. The thing is that we're all, working towards some goal. What is your goal? Is your goal to move away from America, come to Africa, be successful, bless the community? What is it? Because once you identify what the goal is, the path that you need to stay on to get there. But family, as always, I appreciate you for coming along. And as always, enjoy the journey.